See, how do you replace the only two national champions your program has ever had and they're on the team at the same time? That's a difficult question. It's not a good question for me because I can't replace Darion and I can't replace Suni. I don't think anybody can. Having three people, Olivia, Aria, and Cassie, all trying to lead the charge in we can do this with or without them. Well, I think, anytime that you can get good leadership for an extra year is a big deal. Cassie and Aria both are two of our premier leaders. They've been through the whole thing with us. They've been to the Final Four, so they seem to know a little bit about what can happen on any given day. So to have them come back is a really big deal for us.
Well, like Coach Graba said, replacing routines from people like Darion Goborn and Suni Lee, no small feat. But athletes like Cassie Stevens and Olivia Hollingsworth have found ways to do it their way. I spoke with Cassie this week and she told me, I was used to being the athlete that led up to the big scores, and now my teammates look to me for that big score. She said, truthfully, I was allowing myself to put too much pressure on that fact, thinking I had to be the home run hitter. She said, I settled in about halfway through and realized when I am true to myself, that's what serves my teammates best. This Auburn team has taken on a new identity, 10 new pieces, and of course losing some big names, but they've settled into this new identity, finding success their way. And they'll look for success in this next rotation. They head to the vault. They are tied with Arkansas after 2. Rotation 3 coming up next.
Winners go to floor, and that's where one of their brightest stars, Jocelyn Moore, shines on that and the vault, Sam.
She's been such an integral part of this Missouri team, setting records. First vault 10 for the program, and also first perfect 10 in Mizzou history on floor. And get this, starting at SEC championships, she's gotten a 9-9 or better every single time she's stepped on this apparatus.
I talked with Jocelyn this week, Sam, and that 10, she said, was surreal. She said it's hard to even put it into words when you work so hard towards something and finally attain it. But pay attention when she does this full routine. It's actually the leaps that have been giving her some trouble. She said the passes, the choreography, I have fun with all of it. It's the leaps that make me so nervous. She said she's gone into the gym with assistant coaches and, of course, Shannon Welker to fine-tune that leap series and be capable of that 10 every time she's out.
Thanks, Taylor. Sophia Groth will lead things off on vault. Leap, Sam, is that a big deal?
Huge. It's the details that sometimes show up in big moments.
Fairly good size hop, at least a 10th off. From what we've seen today, Yurchenko full starting at a 9.95. If you stick them, you're not getting a 9.9. So that probably is going to be a low 9.8, maybe a high 9.7 now. Sydney Fitzgerald leading things off for the Gym Dogs. Had a great vault rotation until the last 2. They both fell, so they got to get things right here in this event.
Momentum is important for Georgia. Unfortunately, they finished on 2 big mistakes on vault, so this routine here is important for them. And she nails it. Hop on the dismount, but right now they need to get back on track with some hit routines.
Missouri Tigers led after the second rotation, actually extended their lead to .325, a tie for Auburn and Arkansas in that 2 spot. Georgia well back, over a point back of the leaders after 2. Ballistic Amio on balance beam for Arkansas. The meet doesn't start till you get to beam, Sam. I don't care what you say, but they've got to hit big here, trying to close that .325 gap that the Missouri Tigers currently have on them. Speaking of Missouri, Sienna Schreiber starts things off on the right hand of your screen from Missouri on floor.
On the left-hand side of your screen, Callista is just so solid in this leadoff position, has some really unique elements throughout this routine. She's been the leadoff for the past 2 years. The team said this routine here on this event really gives them a sense of calm, and we talk about how important it is for that first athlete to really set the tone for the rest of the athletes in lineup. Step on the dismount. She's usually so good at nailing that with the stick.
interesting note, in these last two rotations, the two teams with the highest scoring potential on individual events are Missouri right here on floor, and then Arkansas on floor in the next rotation. So could that be the difference maker? Those two teams, their best events yet to come, and the events where they can put up the biggest numbers in the meet yet. Schreiber finishing up. Sophia Groth led off with a 9.7. Here's Sydney Schumacher now for Auburn.
Tuck Yurchenko 1.5. I talked to her during warm-up, and she said she just tries to keep her mind calm. She doesn't want to think too much because it messes her up. So really focusing on slow run is helpful for this vault.
Sydney Schreiber, by the way, in the last rotation, a 9.825 to anchor that Missouri beam lineup, and what a lineup it was. Biggest event for them this season.
Big release move combination right off the top for Nia Howard. She doesn't have that much competitive experience this season because she was coming back from an injury, but she's having a great day here at SEC Championships.
She's keeping it loose and having fun. Absolutely.
One of the key things the judges look for is a vertical handstand. You see the green, you get 10 degrees leeway without getting that deduction. She was perfectly vertical, so shouldn't have any deductions there.
Callista Gamio, a 9.875 in the leadoff spot on beam. That is massive. Now, Maddie Jones, knowing you have that 9.875 in your back pocket with a score to drop, that is big for the Razorbacks.
Front aerial into that back handspring series. I saw she made a little adjustment after her front aerial to pull it back on. And really, the goal of beam is not necessarily to be perfectly straight. It's how quickly you can adjust to give the illusion that you're perfectly straight on beam.
Alana Kratzer now on floor exercise. Follows Schreiber's 9.9 in the leadoff spot.
In the right box, Alana is opening with a new pass, whip into a double back.
Maddie Jones finishing up for the Razorbacks. Left hand of your screen. Two gymnasts, two hits.
Alana is part of that junior class with Jocelyn Moore, and coaches just can't say enough good things about this particular class. They just keep getting better. They keep learning new skills. They're hungry to learn the details and implement them in competition.
Meanwhile, not a good start for Auburn on vault. They have a 9.7 and a 9.675. Now here's Hollingsworth. Must-hit moment for Auburn.
Yurchenko 1.5. That starts from a 10.0. Nice body positions in the air. It's just cleaning up the landing. And a solid routine for Alana. I've watched her improve throughout the season. I was at their very first meet, and just to see that growth is really incredible.
We talked to her in the training session yesterday, and she was smiling and having a good time. She said, "Oh, I'm just trying to keep my body in one piece and stay healthy." Hasn't been the case all season, but I know Shannon Welker happy to get her in the lineup on this event partway through the season, and big moment here for them. Addie Wall now had trouble on the vault last rotation, but now she follows Nia Howard's 9.875. Over on the balance beam, Callie Sweeney follows Maddie Jones's 9.9. It feels like Missouri and Arkansas going back and forth in this rotation while Auburn has a little trouble on ball.
And a nice routine from Addie Wall on bars. They're trying to put those hit routines in the bank to really make up some of those points they lost on vault. That's called a hitch kick into a front aerial. I asked head coach Jordan Weber, how are you preparing them for these big moments on balance beam? And she said, well, they have to do beam routines on different beams in different directions because it really makes a difference what you're looking at in the gym. Sometimes you get too comfortable in your own practice facility. Hoping to build their confidence to show they can do beam in any environment.
Hannah Horton starting her floor routine, follows along Cratcher's 985. I mean, did they put the beam on like an angle, maybe halfway out the door, up on a chair?
So, but maybe you can recommend that. I don't know if the athletes are going to be excited about that suggestion.
I mean, isn't it hard enough? Can we just keep it the same every time?
Hannah Horton on the right side of your screen actually got the twisties. That means when you're in the air and you just really don't know where you are, you lose sense. We saw that happen to Simone Biles in the last Olympics, and it happened to Hannah Horton not too long ago. So they had to go back to the drawing board. She met with the sports psych, changed her pass on floor from a 2.5 to a double back, and that's really helped her. She actually got a season high, career high last weekend.
Sarah Hubbard on vault now. Big vault for them. She can go big on this. Got to land, though.
Yurchenko 1.5. Big vault, but also big hop forward.
At least a 10th on that hop. Hollingsworth right before her on her Yurchenko 1.5 to 9.8.
Hannah Horton with the front through to double back. That's the change that they made. It's doing really well for her. She's actually getting a higher score in competition than before she got the twisties.
Shannon Welker can't say enough great things about Hannah Horton. Really, no one knew who she was coming out of high school, and he found her and said, I want this athlete on my team, and she's already paying dividends.
And huge skills like that full in. That's 2 flips and 1 twist in the air. Here's that front through to double back. No problems with the recent change.
Addie Wall at a 9.85 for Georgia on bars. Now Holly Snyder next to go. I got to watch Georgia in training on this event. I was really impressed by them.
Yeah, great catch. I saw her really miss that one in the 30-second touch. Nice to see she's putting it on the bar when it counts. And sinking in the landing, really absorbing the mat for a stuck landing.
Callie Swaney on beam put up the lowest score for Arkansas in this rotation, but it's still a good one. A 9.825, so 3 very good scores in the books as Cammie Weaver now takes to the beam.
Opens with that handspring layout. Good rhythm throughout this routine.
Sarah Hubbard on ball for Auburn, a 9.775, so they are going to have to count 2 scores in the 9.7s at the very least in this rotation, not with the Tigers wanting. Hannah Horton, a 9.825 on floor exercise now. Amari Celestine. They've got 3 big routines coming up. Do the Missouri Tigers, rather.
There's so much good gymnastics, John. I'm going back and forth from beam to floor. Cammie finishing up round of 1.5. That might be the best routine I have seen from her. She just keeps improving on this event.
You said it in the open, 3 times in the last 4 championships in the SEC has a team in this session finished in the top 4. The top 4 teams in the conference going tonight. These 2 right now seem like Auburn, or rather Missouri and Arkansas have a shot to do that. Big moments for both of them.
Yeah, this routine is one of my favorites. Her brother Arteon helped choreograph it. He's supposed to be watching, giving him a shout out now.
Julian Huff on vault. Another Yurchenko 1.5, and man, Auburn needed that. Nailed it.
It's the best feeling in the world, John, when you can just stick a vault and drill it to the ground. I mean, think how hard that is. So much momentum, so high in the air, and you're expected not to move. not lacking in performance quality there. It's always one of my favorites to watch perform.
That is routine number 4 for Missouri. 2 yet to go, most notably Jocelyn Moore in the anchor spot. She has been perfect this season on this event. And the way Arkansas is going, they might have to be perfect. Cammie Weaver and 9.925. 2 gymnasts yet to go for Arkansas. They just need 1 hit. And this is going to be a stellar rotation for them. On the right hand of your screen, Jeffrey Scott, now the 5th gymnast to go, follows a very nice 9.875 from Holly Schneider.
Yeah, I'm watching Jeffrey's bar routine. She is so dynamic. Big, beautiful gymnastics, was a former elite and national team member. And you really notice that in all the details and technique of her skills. That's going to be a really good number for Georgia.
The freshman Haley Klein on the left hand of your screen. Small wobble on that series, Sam, but won't have to be perfect right now, right? Just need 1 more hit.
She's a freshman, and it's important to note, too, that these freshmen and underclassmen are gaining experience for years to come. So, of course, this moment is priority, but they're going to look back on these moments next year and in the future for confidence. And that's a great way to finish your first beam routine at the SEC Championships.
Well done. So 5 gymnasts in for Arkansas. 5 hit routines on beam. 1 more to go.
Looks like all their training is paying off, especially in those landings. Jordan Weaver, head coach, big claps for that performance.
Kennedy Griffin now follows Amari Celestine's 9.85, the lowest score for Missouri at 9.825. These last 2 gymnasts certainly capable of going much higher than that. Cassie Stevens on the left hand of your screen follows Julianne Huff's 9.9. They need another one of those right here from Cassie. They got it!
And she was one of the SEC vault champions last year. We talk about athletes in the afternoon session contending. She was one of the vault champions, and they were in the afternoon session last year. Important to note, it's possible.
Well, the highest score on vault right before that vault was her teammate Julianne Huff with a 9.9. I got to think Cassie Stevens is going to pass that up and put herself in the lead so far in this competition on that particular event.
Kennedy extended her streak of 9.9 floor routines to 5 with a 9.925 just last week. She's doing a crucial job of setting up Jocelyn Moore for those big numbers we've been seeing throughout the season.
And she might need to put up 9.9 plus. Despite how good this rotation's been, Arkansas has been better. They just put up their second 9.925 of the rotation with Haley Klein. Now Serena Linton is going to be their anchor. Sam, she's going up knowing that their low score is a 9.825. How much does that take the pressure off this particular routine?
It really does. Hopefully she can just do her routine the way she knows how to do it. Lily Smith on the right side box, and a routine you're going to want to watch. She scored a perfect 10 on this bar routine throughout this season.
Beautiful swing.
And a stuck landing.
And it's funny, I watched her train that yesterday, and she did at least 3 and could not stick the landing, but I guess practice helped. She stuck it today.
Well, they say she's a perfectionist and will not stop until she gets it perfect.
That will conclude the vault and the bar rotation. Serena, the last gymnast here on balance beam, trying to put an exclamation point on the Razorback rotation.
She has that natural beam ability, And really, they don't need a huge number there because they have 5 solid scores.
Well, anything above a 9.825 would raise that team score on that event. You see the 49.45. That is their current team total on that event. If Serena gets higher than a 9.825, that number will go up. If it goes lower than that, that number will not change. The whole arena belongs to Jocelyn Moore. All the other events are complete. All eyes are on one of the best in the country on this event.
Her first tumbling pass is a big double layout. That's 2 flips in a straight body position, and she gets so high off the floor. Nice.
Kennedy Griffin with that 9.9 should keep Missouri in the lead after this rotation. The question is by how much.
Those are the leaps that Taylor was referencing earlier, and she nailed them. Good extension, got them all the way around. Sometimes we forget about the easier skills, and when the pressure is on, those are usually the first to make a mistake. Quick she gets to those lunge positions. That's a really veteran move, showing the judges don't take anything here.
Her teammates want a 10, of course.
I mean, I'm curious because it's going to be a big number. She's just shown consistency for an entire year. That is so tough to do, starting with that double layout.
Kennedy Griffin right before her a 9.9. You said she set her up for the big scores at the end. We'll see.
They've been seeing it happen all year. That's why we saw a perfect 10 from Jocelyn earlier in the season, and she knows it. She knows it was a good one.
Great rotation from the Missouri Tigers, but a great rotation from the Arkansas Razorbacks as well. Taylor's with their head coach.
Great rotation. You're right, John. Coach, like he just mentioned, a stellar rotation for your girls on beam. How can you carry that momentum over to one of your best events, floor?
Well, that was almost a lights out beam rotation. They've been getting a little bit better every week on this event, and to see that at our first postseason meet, I'm really pleased. And floor is so fun for us. It's what we do best, so we're excited about this last rotation.
We look forward to seeing it. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, she mentioned floor exercise and how much fun it is. You know what it is? It's a Fayetteville floor party, Sam. The Fayetteville floor party is coming up next. We're going to talk about what makes them great on that event.